Now you must be wondering, why does the company in the first place list itself on the stock exchange? So we have understood from the perception of a buyer and seller of a share. Okay, they actually kind of come to the stock exchange so that the process is pretty much more transparent. Plus, they have an assurance that whatever they're buying or whatever they're selling, the transaction is going to be completed and the process is completely secured. As far as the company is concerned, at some point of time in their business cycle, they might actually consider raising funds from the public for future expansion. So, this process is what we refer to as an IPO or an initial public offering. So, the process in which a company lists itself on the stock exchange for the very first time is what we refer to as an IPO. Now, there are multiple reasons why a company lists itself. So let's go through some of them. So first and foremost, as I mentioned to you, it could be for the fact that they need more money to raise funds. Or they need to raise funds for further development of their business. So they might have actually reached a stage that if they pay interest to the bank is going to be too huge, or bank is not letting them to lend such a huge amount of money. So they may think about selling a part of their shares to the public at the present market value that could actually be at a premium even. For example, let's say that the present market value is some 800 rupee. So they may kind of consider it at a bit of a premium, maybe 900 or 1000. So when the people actually buy these shares, the company is actually raising funds. So these funds can actually be used for their business activities. Now, this also provides a very good chance for the investors or the initial promoters of the company to diversify the risk for the upcoming projects. So, let's say that the business is actually expanding at such a rapid rate that the investors or the promoters they have already secured some handsome profits, but now they're kind of actually a bit perplexed if the company is kind of diversifying into many sectors. So, what is going to be the risk going to be associated with it? Or how do they kind of actually think about managing the risk? So, what if they're venturing into something that they're not really sure about? Maybe the promoters could be a bit skeptical. Now, when the public also started purchasing the shares, so this money is also basically going to be used for the future business expansion. So it is also means for the company to diversify its risk by passing it on to the public. So this third point that I have noted down over here is more or less related to the second factor itself. So it provides an exit opportunity for the initial promoter, the people who have initially invested into the company. At some point of time, if they feel okay, this company has actually grown really big, it has given me some great returns. Now, why don't I kind of actually invest in some emerging startups? They always can do that. They can always do that. They can actually pass on fresh funds to new startups. They can invest in it because obviously a growing company has more potential to outperform the companies that has already reached a saturation phase. So I'm not saying all the companies that list itself on the exchange have reached a saturation phase, but definitely there is more higher ROI potential when it kind of comes to small companies if the investor finds pretty good opportunities. So, in simple words, to conclude, I just wanted to say so companies list themselves on the exchange for raising more funds. So, this fund that is raised by the company could be utilized for multiple reasons. It could be used for paying off the debts, it could be used for further business expansion, it could be used for providing an exit opportunity for the initial investors or promoters, or it could be used for a combination of the factors that I have mentioned to you. So case to case, it would vary. And if you actually read through the reports that the companies provide at the time of IPO, you exactly understand what is the issue or what is the actual reason behind raising this fund.